I'm here with Keagan of O27 to talk about the band, the man, the myth, the legend. Thanks for taking the time, man, to join me to chat about the band and about your latest EP. I feel like there's a lot to talk and there's a lot to discuss, specifically for those that may not know who you guys are. You're local here to the Toronto scene, but obviously a lot of people watching this may not know who you guys are. So do
Right,
you care to do a little bit of an introduction and let us know who the band is and how did it all get started for you guys?
for sure. So 027 is a three-piece just outside of Toronto. We're located in Orangeville. We sort of lean towards the punker side of hardcore music. Um, the three of us we love to play live. That's what inspires us to do everything we do is just to try to get the kids out to the shows. We started up just kind of as a cover band, just in our drummer's garage, just playing around. And then our first show was kind of last minute. Our friend just needed an opener. So we just decided to throw together some cover songs. And from there on, we've written originals and played more shows.
So who are some of those covers that you guys are? What bands did you guys cover?
So our first set was composed of four Nirvana songs, a Meshuggah song, a Rush song, and two originals.
Well, dude, that's very eclectic. You go from Nirvana to Sugar.
Yeah, right. It was an
So
interesting set, but it
if
worked.
I'm curious, can you tell me the songs? Do you remember?
Yeah, we played YYZ, we played Rational Gaze, we played Floyd the Barber, Mr. Mustache, on a plane, and another Nirvana song, but I can't remember.
Wow.
We just
I
fill in time, really.
I would never guess that you guys would have done covers at a show and you would have gone from Nirvana to Meshuggah
It,
to Rush. I mean, I could see maybe how the Rush there being Canadian and all how you have to throw one of those in, but the Nirvana and Meshuggah they couldn't be further apart.
it was fun.
I mean, I can imagine it was fun. I mean, I'm sure it was fun for you guys and it was fun
Yeah,
for those attending. You mentioned the punker side of hardcore. So, who have been some of the bands that influenced you guys to go more towards that punker side of hardcore?
definitely a band, Converge. Once we've got into Converge, it kind of changed our point of view on how we're going to write songs. Um, and from there on, we just kept getting heavier and faster. We still try to get a little technical, which brings our inspirations from Meshuggah over. But Converge and bands like Title Fight that are all about crowd engagement. That's the kind of stuff that we really dig now.
You mentioned it earlier that you guys really enjoyed to play live.
Yeah,
So when the band got started, when you guys started doing these covers, was always the live scene the end goal for you guys, perhaps more than anything else?
absolutely. We make our set based off the crowd's reaction and what gets the pit going at certain times and how we can slow things down during the set and where we should position songs. So definitely everything we do is based off the live scene.
Wow. And was it easier or easy on that first gig, considering that you were like a last minute fill in and your friends asked you for a favor? Were you guys ready for it?
It was actually the first time us three have ever played together.
All right, like Meshuggah is not difficult enough. Let's just fucking do this the first time that we all in the
Well,
same.
bassist and I have been playing since we were in grade five, so we kind of knew what we were doing, but we added on our drummer pretty last minute, and we swapped instruments for some songs to make it easier during the set. But we'd
What,
practiced a
what,
lot.
do you, what do you what do you mean you swapped instruments? Like you
So
went on drums?
yeah, so the first half of the set it was just the bassist and I. I hopped on the drums and we played Rush and Meshuggah and all. And then the second half of the set was all the Nirvana covers, and I went and played guitar and sung. But
Wow.
just covers in the basement of the venue before the set.
I'm speechless. I honestly don't even know where to go next. I mean that's I don't think I've ever seen anything like that
Oh,
at any show. Like how was the reaction of the crowd?
honestly, I think we scared some people. We were opening for an indie band and like a rock band. So to play Meshuggah opening for an indie band was definitely interesting. But once we whipped out the Nirvana tunes, we had a little bit of people excited.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I see how you like let's do something to bring these people in, to reel them in.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, dude. So after that first show, and that experience of all three of you being on stage together. What was the discussion after the show between the three of you in terms of where you want to take this moving forward?
Definitely. We all looked at each other right after and all agreed we needed to do this immediately. It felt so perfect. The balance and the energy between us we found was unlike anything whoever we played with. It was an first experience for all of us. So we just said, fuck it, we have to do this again. And I think 2 or 3 months after, we put on our first local show here in Orangeville. And since then, we've just been trying to play as much as possible.
And I'm sure you went home and you told your parents, I want to be a rock star. And they were like, oh, this is totally fine. I mean, like, who needs an education?
Ah, exactly.
I love this youthfulness that you have and that you guys have to put something like this together. You don't see it very often, but I think that really comes from that punk side of
Mm,
your hardcore influences, which is pretty much kind of like do it yourself and
absolutely.
not overthink it. I don't know if you're a fan of a band called Mentar or not. I don't know if
I
you've
haven't heard
heard
of
of them.
them.
I highly recommend you checking them out because it's just a drummer and a guitar player,
Okay.
and they play facing each other. They're not facing the audience; they face one another on stage. I saw them in Norway a couple of weeks ago at Inferno,
Mm,
and this just to say that they had a technical issue with the guitar pedals. Halfway through the set, they stopped working. Nothing was working, and pretty much like you guys and the attitude that you guys have, that's that very punk attitude that Mentar has as well. Was fuck it, who needs the pedals? Let's just fucking go.
play anyways. Nice.
Yeah, let's just fucking do this. Let's just, bare bones. Let's just fucking rock it. And when I saw a band like that doing it, obviously it's a lot easier from a fan base standpoint to accept it. But
Mm,
when you guys are hopping between instruments and just like fucking let's go and let's do it, I think it takes a lot more balls than perhaps people would give you guys credit for doing. And considering that was your first time, and not to be scared or worried about what the perceptions were going to be, kudos to you guys, man. Like that's badass.
thank you. We've tried to
That's
keep the energy going.
that is fucking badass. So being a young band from Orangeville, trying to break it into the local market with hopes and dreams of one day achieving world domination, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you guys have faced?
Some of the biggest challenges, um, I would say, is trying to practice. That is our biggest challenge. We've played probably 3 times more shows than we've practiced, and that's horrible to admit. But our drummer's in school and our bassist works full time, so practicing has always been a challenge for us. But we find that it helps solidify us live. It helps us remember that we're still musicians and we have a long ways to go as far as getting better at it. Um, and I think it keeps us grounded. So not to say that's a good thing, but yeah, that's definitely our biggest challenge.
And you guys have a new EP out. You're not supposed to know. So the question is, where am I not supposed to know?
That's it. That's the question itself. I'm not supposed to know the title, so
Oh,
right there in your face.
really philosophical. I mean, you guys have gone like all Greek philosophers on me here. So the question is the question, or the question is the answer, like,
Absolutely.
or both. The question is the answer and the question.
Whatever you turn out, whatever the answer is for yourself, that's what it is.
And you guys have some live tracks on this EP. How are you recording these? Like, what's
Hmm. So
what's the process?
our drummer did all the production for all of those tracks, even the live ones. We recorded track 1 to 3 in his basement, as well as 6, and then 4 and 5 were tracked live in Orangeville and Guelph. So he mixes it all and masters it all himself. He's pretty good at that.
I was going to ask you because I saw that on the press release.
Mhm.
And does he have any background on doing this, or he's kind of like, as the rest of the band, kind of do it yourself and learning as you go along?
He's all hands-on experience. He hasn't taken any courses or any schooling for that. He's
Wa-
just spent a lot of time on his computer.
Watching YouTube tutorials,
I think so. I think so. He just records a lot. He does a lot of stuff. Him.
and you're happy with the results.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. I think it sounded pretty good.
All right, that's good. Like, I'm just checking because like that's a lot of pressure. I mean, not only the guy showed up for that first gig unannounced almost because you guys don't really practice together. Now you also have the man doing the mixing and all of that shit. That's a lot for you guys to take on all by yourselves. Is this you guys just trying to keep everything in house and be a little bit of control of what you want to do and how you want to do it?
We are absolutely control freaks. Caleb and I, the bassist, we manufactured and pressed all the CDs and cassettes ourselves, so we know exactly how many are getting out and how many we're making, which is definitely a challenge, but we love being in control of what's happening.
Wow, that is crazy. Will that ever change? Do you see that changing, or
I think
you're
so.
happy where you are?
I feel like in the future we definitely need to make some adjustments because we'd like to still be able to focus 100% on the music and on our live performance. A lot of our mindset can be based, a lot of our mind energy can be put towards the manufacturing or recording when sometimes it could just be easier just to play. So some roles might change, but for the time being, we'll stick to what we're doing.
Yeah, you feel like right now you're still at a level where you can control everything and it's
Mhm.
manageable, for a lack of a better term.
Absolutely. We're not getting too many orders that we're not falling behind yet. We can still keep on top of it.
How do you start planning, or how do you draft what the future is going to be in terms of going from this do-it-yourself approach to perhaps try to break into other markets, try to play more shows, try to maybe get signed? I don't know if is that a goal, what are your goals and expectations?
Our goals right now would just be to broaden our audience, make more connections at live shows, and engage more with an audience that we've already created. But just spreading out our live show. That's our goal, is just to get heard, get people at our shows. Not that we want to sell tickets, but we just want people to come and have a good time. If later on people want to hear it afterwards, then we'll start working more on releases and maybe trying to get signed. But at the moment, building our audience is our goal.
And how do you go about doing that? Like, are you in contact with some local promoters in Toronto? Are you always looking for show possibilities where you could be added to the bill? Like,
Yeah, we always try
how are
to.
you navigating that?
Yeah, a lot of the time it's our friends who are booking these shows, and we've booked them, so it's kind of just I'll scratch my back if you scratch yours, or you'll scratch my back if I
That's
scratch yours, kind of thing. Uh, but a lot of the time, it's me just trying to hit up the venues, seeing if we can put something on, and then booking the bands after. I just finished booking an Ontario tour for July. It's going to be 2 weekends in July, and that's going to be a good time. I just finished booking that.
Are you guys playing in Toronto?
Yeah, we're playing in Toronto May 17th, and then a date in July.
Oh wow, May 7th. Where are you guys playing?
Playing at the Bunker.
I've
It's
never
a house venue on Dundas and Heel, I think.
I've never heard of it, so I'm interested to. You got to send me the details.
Absolutely. Yeah, once the flyer comes out, I'll send it your way.
Yeah. Once the flyer is out, send it my way. I'll share it on social media as well to let people know that the show is happening. I would love to come and check you guys out for sure. So yeah, definitely send it my way. I'm
Oh,
always intrigued by discovering new music, and I can tell you guys are hungry. You guys have a fire in your belly, if you will. So for these shows that you guys are booking right now, are we gonna get some Meshuggah, or is all brand new original material?
all original material right now. We
You guys
throw,
got rid of the covers?
yeah, we play a few Converge covers here and there just because we love it. But it's mostly original material.
Is that a decision that is made because you want to separate the waters, that you want to be looked at as a band that plays your own material and not just necessarily a group of guys that are just doing some covers for fun? Is that why?
Absolutely. We want to be able to share our material. I think playing covers is great once you're just trying to get tight as a band. But I think we've reached beyond that point where we need to get tight with our own music.
I'm going to give you an advice, even though you're not asking me for it.
Okay.
A good cover it can really help. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Especially when it comes to, like, I'm going to talk about what I know, which is YouTube. It's going to be hard for people to discover a band that they've never heard before because they're not
Right.
going to be looking for you. But they
Mhm.
might be looking for that Converge song and
Mhm.
then see a cover from a different band and then be intrigued by it.
Oh,
So don't look at covers. And I'm not saying do a whole set of covers. That's not what I'm saying by no means.
mhm.
But what I'm saying to you guys is use the covers as a way of attracting a new audience that will come in because of that cover, but then they'll stay because of your own original material.
That's a great point. We
So don't dismiss it,
okay.
and don't think it's a negative that that you're almost like, oh, we're putting our original material aside because of the no, like the two can coexist with one another. And when
Mhm.
you think about people discovering music through either social media or like YouTube or Instagram Reels or whatever, just think about it. Like more people will be searching, and I'm using Convergence because that's a band that you guys like. More people will be searching for them and for their music than a band that they've never heard. And if they see you jamming it or playing it live, that would be like, fuck, these guys are great. I wonder how their material sounds like. And that's the perfect gateway to go into and checking you guys and growing that audience that you want to grow. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Okay.
A nice cover at a live show also helps the audience come into the show and feel like, hey, I know that song. And
Right.
then you're able to win them over a little bit easier.
Yes. One cover we usually throw in sometimes is Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Dead. And that typically ends with a good drum dive, which will finish off the evening.
That is a great way of ending the show.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So this EP is out. You have these shows booked for the summer. What else? That's my last question for you. What else do you have planned? Are you guys working on material for a full length record maybe in 2025? Are you looking at booking more shows beyond the summer? What's the
Right
plans?
now we're looking at maybe recording a single and then trying to book some more shows for the fall once we finish up these summer shows. But we expect a full length maybe in the next year or two. We're really going to take our time with a full length. That way we have something that we're super proud of and that we can just push really hard because we enjoy it.
Listen, dude, if you guys, first of all, send me the flyer once you have it. I'll share it on social media for sure. I would love to come and see you guys play. If you guys need any contacts with some local promoters in Toronto that are looking for bands to fill in on bigger bills when they come to town, let me know. I can definitely pass those your way as well.
Okay.
I'm more than happy to help you guys out. I mean, I think we need more people like you guys that have this attitude and this mentality of just making music and wanting to play. That should be everybody's main goal, is to not think like, oh, just because we started a band we're gonna be the next Meshuggah or the next Gojira, but like really enjoying playing. Like
Yep.
I think I can see that in your face and I can see that in your eyes when you talk about your live performances. Like I could feel like you, regardless if there's one person in the audience or 100 people, you're gonna have the same amount of fun and energy on every single show.
Absolutely. You got it right.
Keagan, man, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you
Keep
so
me
much.
posted. Let's stay connected, and thanks for taking the time to chat with me. I
Well,
really
thank you, Ed.
appreciate it.
We'll keep in touch.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care, dude.